Welcome to Bills and Bourbon, guys. It is a somber Bills and Bourbon, so I'm sure we all need to have some vent sessions. So we are going to do that today, and we're going to talk about this off season, what we saw this season, and then whatever else we get into. Fortunately, we drank all of our bourbon last night. So we won't be featuring a bourbon today, but we will be back in full force in 2024. Look for us to be more consistent. We'll have a weekly show. Might even have some off-season shows, but this is going to be the final episode of Bills and Bourbon for the 2023 season, following the 27-24 loss to the Chiefs, which I really didn't expect. I didn't prepare myself for them to lose that game, but here we are. And honestly, it sucks to say, but I feel like I'm getting used to it. Oh man.
And I've been for 50 years, and it hurts every time, but I am used to it. I watched them lose 4 Super Bowls, watched, wide right, everything that could possibly, home run, throwback, every possible thing that could happen to us. It just does. I mean, yesterday, they had the ball on the 20-yard line, with a minute and whatever it was. All they needed to do was, I think it was 2nd and 9. They would have got one for just another first down. They would have been, on the 10-yard line, and Bass probably wouldn't have missed. And we would have tied the game up, or we would have won the game. But, of course, that stuff doesn't happen to us. They throw 2 incompletions. And Bass misses a 44-yard field goal wide right.
Mm-hmm.
It was like was traumatized by the wide right again. And they just, I don't know. They cannot get over the hump. Josh played a really good game. I don't know what more you can ask him to do. I mean, he did. He had some guys open that he didn't hit, but he had, for the most part, he did play a pretty solid game. No turnovers. If the defense could have made a stop at some point in the game,
that wasn't going to happen. They weren't going to stop him. They needed to score a touchdown. There is what needed to happen, because even if Bass makes that kick,
there's still over a minute left.
They've got timeouts, and there was no reason why we would have been able to expect the Bills to stop them on that drive, because they couldn't stop them on any other drive.
Yep.
They were wounded duck walking out there, both their legs, both their arms cut off. But, in a game like that, in a situation like that, it just seemed like I don't even know, their game plan wasn't right, because they had the best tight end to play the game running all by himself. And
the one touchdown, he blown coverage, wide open, nobody within 10 yards of him in the end zone.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. And those are things that they just can't get over the hump. You have to make that field goal. If it was someone against us, they would have made it. Butker last in the 13 seconds kicked a 49-yarder. The friggin' guy from Philly kicks a 59-yarder in the driving rain to tie the game. But we can't make a stinking 44-yard field goal with the wind to tie the game, to give us a chance, just to give us a chance.
Yep. No, he's got to
But
make that field goal. He's got to
but
make that field goal.
I think that the play calling after they ran it down to the 2-minute warning, they should have ran the ball, somehow figured out how to get 4, 5, 6 yards, had a 3rd and 3, something like that. That Josh, does his thing, runs around and you're running the clock, and then when you're there, you're on the 10-yard line, and there's 45 seconds left in the game. You or maybe run it again, knowing that you're there. You're going to get it. Now you're kicking a 30-yard field goal instead of a 44-yard field goal, and then take the shots into the end zone, score with fucking 10 seconds left, and pray that they don't get another touchdown. But
yeah, they the way that they needed to play that game was they needed to run that clock out. They needed to give the Chiefs no time, and they needed to score a touchdown. They
would have
needed to
had
score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And
it's like the offense. They didn't. What did we score? 7 points in the second half, or
7 points in the second half. Yep.
Yeah. And you got, Josh is Josh. He's going to make some great plays, and but he was the one that kept us in the game again. And you got Sherfield dropping passes. You got Diggs on a fucking bomb that hits him right in the hands. The guy who complains his fucking ass off about not getting the ball and shit. And the biggest play, his biggest play of the year, and he drops it.
I know. He needs to catch that ball. And, I think on the last, Diggs was running the drag on the last play before he kicked the field goal. And I think that influenced why Josh didn't throw it to him. I mean, because there's a reason. There's a reason that, an elite quarterback is not looking at you. There's a problem there. There is a problem there. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but he clearly trusts Khalil Shakir more than he trusts Stephon Diggs. And I've been a big Stephon Diggs defender and fan. I've got jerseys and all this, but it might be time to deal Diggs and see what you can get for him, because you can't. Your number one wide receiver can't have 40 yards in the last 10 games of the season. It's just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Whether it's Josh not throwing him the ball, him not getting open, I don't know. But you just don't see other number one wide receivers. You don't see that happening to them. You just don't. So something's got to change. And I think that it needs to be Sean McDermott. I really do. I've been listening to a lot of media this morning and all day today, and not a lot of people agree with that. And everybody's saying, "Oh, well, they already decided that they're not going to get rid of Sean McDermott," which is probably true. But you need to also look at the landscape of the team too. Yes, Sean was able to bring the team together after the hit piece came out, and Von Miller, all this bullshit was going on, and he did bring us to the playoffs. But you have to take his entire coaching career with the Bills into consideration. So Sean McDermott has been to the playoffs 6 times as a Buffalo Bill. First 2 times we got bounced in the wild card round, which we were totally fine with because we were coming off of the drought. Then you go to the AFC Championship in 2020. Then in 2021, you lose in a divisional round to the Chiefs. Probably the best chance the Bills have had in a long time to win the Super Bowl. 2022, they played terrible, scored 10 points at home against the Bengals, and then we just lost in the divisional round against the Chiefs. So every single year, we go into the offseason and we make changes, and we change the defense, we change the offense, we change coaching, we change, personnel, and we're still in the same position. No AFC championship appearances, nothing. You just stop at the same spot every single time. So that just doesn't seem like it's okay. Like, for all of the Bills fans out there who are like, well, who are you going to get next? Like, this is as good as it gets. Well, then we're never going to win a Super Bowl. If that's the attitude that you have, then we're never going to win a Super Bowl. It's just how it is. You can't. So Albert Einstein has a quote. He says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And that's what the Bills do. That is what the Bills do. And something has to change. And if Pagula and Bean don't want to move on from Sean McDermott, and I am a huge Bills fan, but this might be one of the grossest mishandles of a star player that I have ever seen. Trade him. Trade Josh Allen. If you are not going to give him what he needs to succeed, somebody else will. Trade the poor kid, because he's probably one of the best athletes to play the position in fucking 20 years. And I know Mahomes is great, but side by side, pure athleticism, Josh Allen is leaps and bounds above all these guys. And if you're not going to do what you need to do to better the team and to get Josh Allen what he needs, then trade him.
Yeah, well, I highly doubt that'll happen, and
it won't. It won't happen.
They won't fire McDermott, and in their mind, they are trying to do what they can to get Josh what they need, but you can't. I'm on the. I mean, in 12 games into this year, everybody was like, McDermott's done. They're going to fire him. And then we won the last 6 games of the year in the first playoff game, and our defense was banged up and everything, and it's just you're right. If everybody's happy, yep, we're going to go to the divisional round and lose again. If that's Andy Reid, when he was with the Eagles, he went to 3 NFC championship games in a row, and they fired him because they lost every one. And
right.
They're like, that we can't have this anymore. I mean,
right.
He went to the Chiefs, and he wasn't that good. Once Mahomes came along, that's when the Chiefs became good. But the first years that he was in, Reid was in Kansas City, and he have Alex Smith, and
that was they went to the AFC Championship game with Alex Smith.
Yeah, they did. But I don't know. McDermott seems to. I mean, the fucking fake punt on the guy's conservative. You can't get more conservative. And then at that point, on what we were on our 35-yard line or something, and it wasn't even. I mean, the special teams. I don't know. It didn't look like it ever had a chance to succeed.
No,
like,
you have DeMar Hamlin. DeMar Hamlin is fucking 165 pounds. Why isn't Ty Johnson taking that snap? Ty Johnson might have got that first down. 5 yards? That dude, he was the best player. He was the best running back out there today. Yesterday. He was that the scheme that they had going for that game was for Ty Johnson, because James Cook, that's not his running style. He's not gonna run, between the tackles and bring guys with him. He's going to hit that line and fall down. He's just not big enough.
Yeah,
So
if they're blocking like Dallas, they ran through beat between the tackles, but he was 6 yards through before anybody hit him. He started that way yesterday, and then the Chiefs, which most teams do, make adjustments, and they couldn't run the ball for shit in the second half.
no.
And that's what fucking screwed them up because we had so many 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9. You know, it was like do something else.
Right.
It's Jesus. It's
And,
just
and if you're Josh Allen, if you're Josh Allen and you got to come back to a Sean McDermott led team, what does that feel like? What
yeah,
does
but
that feel at like at what point? So they take the football element out of it, right? How many chances do you give a person to do anything? How many?
yeah,
You know?
it's a different world though. Especially, I mean, it might not be a different world, but that's just not. It's not how Pagula does it. He's just, I mean, like we're in a bromance with all these guys. He loves Bean. He loves McDermott. Everybody loves everybody. They love fucking what's his name, Ken Dorsey. Now they love fucking Brady and Josh. Even in his press, I saw that. I did watch his thing, and he's fucking endorsed McDermott, endorsed Brady.
That's
Yeah.
because Josh Allen is a class act. That is why.
Well, that's also influences people. And if he says he likes them, then people are going to say, all right, then keep him. If he's got to go in there to Bean and say, what the fuck, man? We got to, this isn't working, you know? But
I
it's going to,
agree. I
and you
agree.
know what?
But
Yeah, I think Diggs is going to be gone. I think he's like fucking fed up with it. And, you know, he's getting a little prima donna. I mean, he catches the ball, run as soon as somebody gets ready to tackle him, he falls down. He doesn't try. There's no extra effort. He runs out of bounds, takes himself out of the game. He spends more time on the sidelines, and then fucking he dropped the ball a lot this year.
he
And
did. He dropped the ball a lot this year. I mean, he has been a great part of this team, but if you want to be considered a wide receiver run, you make the plays in the biggest moments. It's just how it is. I haven't seen Josh throw the ball that accurately all season. He was
and
dropping dimes on these guys, and they couldn't catch it.
he's got a shoulder injury. It'll come out. You watch. He's got
He,
I thought PCL and rotator cuff
oh yeah, he
injury.
does, no doubt.
It'll come out now, and then
Mhm.
something will Diggs will come out where he was playing with his back was hurt and shit. But they're the team. Gabe's gone. I wouldn't be surprised if Diggs is gone. Hoyer
Well,
and Hyde are probably gone. Um, you know, they got to
a lot of guys.
They need to fucking draft a stud wide receiver. Not a fucking guy in the 3rd round. They need to figure out a way to grab one of these motherfuckers that is a slam dunk. Fucking
I've been seeing some mock drafts, and everybody has the Bills picking a fucking cornerback.
I saw safety.
You
Oh,
know, this I had this argument at the end of last year. If you score 50, who gives a fuck how good your defense is?
yep.
Honestly, this is what it is. Like when you have an elite quarterback, I wouldn't spend any picks on the fucking defense. None. Because if you can score 50, it doesn't matter if you have the 27th ranked, 32nd ranked fucking defense in the league. Nobody's going to go out there and score 50. It's just how it is.
I
And
know.
Sean McDermott is never going to do that. He's a defensive minded head coach, so he's going to draft players because that's the side of the ball that he knows. And another thing, so Josh Allen is elite. So when you find a good offensive coordinator, he is going to be gone in a year, 2 years max. You can't just have a rotating door of OCs. Joe Brady was already interviewed for a head coaching position. He coached 9 games. You can't have that. You can't have that. So say Joe Brady goes somewhere else. This will be the third different system in a year for Josh Allen. And they still went to the divisional round.
Yeah.
Look at the bigger picture. And I had an argument yesterday with somebody, and they said, who are you going to get? If we get rid of Sean McDermott, then who? Honestly, who cares? Who cares? You get somebody offensive minded. I don't care if it's their first job or their 10th job. Something has to change. Sean McDermott, 4 years in a row, showed us what his ceiling is. He did.
Yep.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's how it goes. And I think because this franchise has lost so frequently over the last 25 years, there's still people on there. We got the 2 seed and we weren't supposed to, and we made it to the playoffs, and it's just like, man, that's such a mediocre mindset. Do you think that Bill Belichick was all right with this shit? Think that, any of these elite coaches are okay with just making the playoffs? I mean, we got bounced out of the divisional round at home twice, 2 years in a row.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just they're showing the Diggs, how he's running back to the field, running back, and he goes like this, like the ball was, like it was almost there. It's like, come on. And Josh is like, oh my God. And I'm trying to see, there was a thing.
Here, so I've got a crazy stat here. So in the last 10 games, Khalil Shakir was targeted 37 times with 462 yards. Diggs was targeted 80 times with 422 yards. So they're throwing it at Diggs. They're throwing it at him.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to believe that Stephon Diggs is a good teammate. He looks like he's a good teammate on the sideline, but sometimes when you have a personality like that within the organization, it makes it tough. Like, Josh Allen is standing under center trying to figure out if he needs to throw it to Diggs to make him happy or to throw it to the open guy who's a rookie. Like, Dalton Kincaid should have gotten fucking 15 catches yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Here's it. Bills under McDermott in playoff. Blows the game in Houston. You remember that? We were up 16-0 on that game. Blows game to Kansas City. Blows game to Cincy. The Kansas City, he's talking 13 seconds. Last year, blows game to Cincy. We played like dog shit, and yesterday blows the game. There's no more defending him. He's like a Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. And, the argument is, the defense. You need to judge this man as a head coach, not as a defensive coordinator. If he's a defensive coordinator, he did a phenomenal job. But he's not. He's a head coach. There is a massive difference between those two positions.
Yep.
So some people have it, some people don't. It's just how it is. You see it everywhere. Some people are just winners and some people aren't. And you know what? Unfortunately, Sean McDermott, he might not be a winner. He went to one Super Bowl, got his ass kicked by Peyton Manning. That was Sean McDermott's defense.
Yep.
They got bullied. And he never recovered. Never recovered. And, I don't know.
This is look at the first team in the Super Bowl era to have rushed and passed for 180 yards, had 0 giveaways and 0 sacks, had less than 30 penalties, had more than 35 minutes of time of possession, and had 5 separate 10-plus play drives and lost. The only fucking team.
I mean, that's happened to us a couple times this year. Yeah. So the biggest thing, if we want to talk about Sean McDermott's defense, and again, I know that they were hurt. I know that. But I'm just sick of hearing about these excuses. Like, if I'm fucking up at my job and I want to go and I want to meet a certain goal and I miss it every single year, somebody is going to come up to me and say, "Hey, Zach, this isn't working out, man. We're going to find somebody else to do what you do." And, that's just the reality of things. They average 7.7 yards a play.
Yeah,
That is why they lost the time of possession battle and won. Because you need to run 11 plays when you average 7.7 yards a play. That will take you 77 yards on 10 plays, 11 plays.
Yep.
The Bills had 0 20-yard plays. 0.
Yep, they didn't even. So you can see the philosophy is totally different with Brady than it was Dorsey. Dorsey was, we're going to pass the shit out of it and run when we need. And then when he got voted, they started using Cook more and trying to make not as much pressure on Josh to do everything. But when you get to the point of the season where we're right down where we were, like that's going to haunt me.
Well, yeah. I don't think the game plan was the dink and dunk. I think the first read was the shot plays, and Diggs and whoever Sherfield, they weren't getting open. So he checks it down. And he checked it down all game. And the shots that he did take were good shots. And them guys got to make that catch. You have a guy, Valdez Scantley, was being crucified for not being able to catch the ball. This guy came up in the biggest moments multiple times last game. And we have guys who are supposed to be doing that, and they don't. And to me, that is coaching. You can't have multiple people not rise to the occasion and have it be on personnel or execution or whatever. Like, they executed what they needed to do. That was perfect execution. Josh threw that ball. I mean, that's a touchdown right there. Oh, it's heartbreaking, honestly. It's heartbreaking.
It is.
Because you go into this game and it is the best chance that you've had yet. Best chance you've had yet to knock off the Chiefs.
Yep. And you didn't. It was at your place, and they just couldn't get it done. It's definitely disappointing. Now we got to wait another fucking 9 months.
I know. And, I watched McDermott's presser after the game yesterday, and he goes, I thought the offense did some good things, but we didn't do enough on defense or special teams to influence the game at all. Well, guess what? That is your fucking specialty.
And Bass is a problem now, too. All of a sudden, he had the Bassomatic fucking nickname. Last week, Pittsburgh, he missed one, got one blocked. This week, 44 yards. A friggin' extra points like 35 yards. I mean, you can't miss that. You cannot. It has to fucking go through.
It has to. You're right. It has to.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe Mahomey took him down and got a field goal, but you would have given us a chance. Maybe, who knows? We would have came up with our one stop or whatever. But you can't just give them the fucking game with a minute, 10 seconds left. Just give it to them. It's over. It was like we had a nice drive too. That was a long drive. Took some time. Josh got him in the fucking field goal range, and then motherfucking guy misses it.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it is. I don't know. I'm an advocate for things changing, and I know that it's not going to happen. I know that they're not going to change the head coach, but one day, Josh ain't going to want to play here.
Yeah,
it's just the nature of it. It's just the nature of it.
Well, then he shouldn't go ahead and say Sean and Joe Brady did a great job, and blah blah blah. If you don't want it, you got to fucking say it. Say, well, I don't know. We got to look at things.
He's not that type of player.
No, he's not going to do that.
He's not going to do that. That's why. And it's not a player's job to do that, really. It's not. It's a fucking GM and an owner's job to do that. But like, there's two common denominators for all of those playoff losses, right? Josh Allen and Sean McDermott. Who is more valuable to this team, Josh Allen or Sean McDermott? Answer the question.
It's not even close.
Who is it, Dad?
Josh.
All right. So you need to go in there and say, hey, Josh, we will do anything that you tell us to do. Literally. I mean, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. I feel, and everybody's all over Josh about missing Diggs on that last play. The Bills wouldn't be sniffing the playoffs if he wasn't on our team, man.
Oh, no doubt.
They would be so bad.
Yep.
So bad.
There's no doubt. The guy carried our team. He does it every year. That's why, he's like you said, Josh, what do you need in the draft? I want a big wide receiver. I want fucking this. I want that. Okay, that's what we'll do. Whoa.
There we go.
It's
a little fuzzy there sometimes. I don't know why. Yeah. They need to draft wide receivers because I just saw Gabe Davis is gonna explore free agency.
Of course he is. They're gonna pay him. Somebody's gonna pay him like fucking $12 million a year.
I know, and that's another thing. The Bills
he'll fucking go off. Fucking. They were saying that I saw a thing where they said they should go after Mike Evans. We should.
I think so.
Yeah, it's just that we're in cap fucking hell. I think they'd have to get rid of Diggs.
No, that doesn't change the fact that we're in cap hell. If you do get rid of Diggs, you're gonna have to have somebody pick it up. Yeah. And that's usually not how it works. I'm pretty sure the cap hit is higher if he's not on the team next year because he's still got 2-3 years on his contract.
Then he's going. He ain't going nowhere. Then he's going to be on the team. So it's too fucking bad. If he becomes on the team and we draft somebody or bring somebody in and you're not number one, you're number two, just then fuck it. It's got to be, he always wants to be wide receiver one, but he's got to shoot his mouth off. But when the time comes, you can't choke. That they're supposed to be a veteran team. They've been in playoff mode for 7 fucking games. You can't You can't do that shit. You can't be dropping passes. You can't miss a field goal with a minute left in the fucking playoff game. You just can't do it.
And the way that they were playing yesterday, they obviously they had a huge emphasis on time of possession. And again, they succeeded at it. But when you're cutting them up like that, they needed to go out there and just try and score as many points as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Because oh my God, I just can't even. Oh, just wasn't ready. Just was not ready for the season to be over.
Never are. It's just how it goes sometimes, like most of the time. We'll be anxiously waiting now for the draft and for free agency and for all that happy horseshit to start all over again.
Mm. But I'll say this right now: we aren't going to win a Super Bowl with Sean McDermott. I'll say it right now. And there's a lot of people who will disagree with me, but I mean, there's no reason to think.
What would give you a reason to think we would after
Right.
what's happened? They were saying that or Andy Reid didn't win one till he was in his 11th year of coaching or some shit, and Peyton Manning didn't win his first Super Bowl till he was in his 9th year. So everybody's got the old everything will work out nice. We got time bullshit.
No, so Peyton Manning stood in the pocket and took no hits for 9 years.
That's true.
Josh Allen gets hit on almost every play. It is a different kind of football.
Yeah.
And one day, he's just not going to be able to play like that anymore. He's just not. Yeah. And that is why this is such a crucial time for the Bills, because you need to recognize that as an organization. You have to recognize that he's not a Tom Brady. He is not protected by the league. He's not the guy. Mahomes is the guy. Josh is not. So you don't have 9 years or 11 years. You just don't. You just don't, man. And you're not going to go out and find another Josh Allen. The Bills are going to suck after Josh Allen retires. Let's just get that out there too. If they continue to ride this wave that they're riding right now, after Josh Allen retires, the Bills will suck. We will go into another fucking drought. Yeah. Because he is the guy. He's the guy. Nothing else has changed on that team in fucking 15 years besides Josh Allen. That's it. And Sean McDermott got lucky enough to be the coach while he was here. That is what happened.
Yep.
It's frustrating as a fan. And, I'm 30 years old, and I've been listening to this guy tell me about the heartbreak for my whole life. And, I'm starting to understand it.
Well, you knew enough. The 13 seconds when they scored, and I even said it. Mom was here. You were in Albany. Mom jumping all around. I said, "Don't even. There's 13 seconds." I said it right to her, and they fucking lost. It is just, and how do you think Josh is going to feel? He's going to listen to how Mahomes beats him we beat you in the regular season, but you can't beat me in the playoffs when it counts.
And that's all they're going to talk about on the national media.
Oh yeah.
That's it. And this is Josh's legacy, man. It doesn't matter if you throw 45 touchdowns a year if you don't even go to an AFC Championship game. And at that point, think about that. Think about that too. He throws 45 touchdowns a year, and we can't fucking get to the AFC Championship game? It's just mind-boggling. He's the best. You're never going to have the best on your team again. You just don't. You don't get that lucky. You just don't. And, oh, man. I don't know. I'm frustrated with them, and I don't have any hope right now, to be honest with you. I don't have any hope that they're going to be able to make the right moves, because I think Sean McDermott is the root of the issue, and it needs to be tore down and started over. This is the time to do it too. You got no cap room. You got fucking the whole world is going to leave. This is the perfect time to bring somebody new in.
Yeah, well, it's just not in that's not in Pagula's DNA, really. Although he did dump Rex Ryan, so, but we'll have to see.
Rex Ryan was also like out at the bars drinking after the game,
Yeah.
So. I mean, Josh Allen was the leading rusher. He had all the touchdowns. I mean,
Yep.
Well, you got anything else?
Nope. This is about wrapping it up for another year.
Yep, wrapping it up. Well,
it was a fun time doing this though with you, buddy.
Yeah, it was fun, and
we'll try to improve.
Yep, we're gonna get better
next year, and maybe we'll get a few followers.
Yeah, we'll get it out there. We'll do a little bit more marketing, and then we'll try and get some guests on next year. We'll see what happens. So, all right, guys, that's it for us.
Have a good rest of the year, and we'll throw a few in during maybe OTAs or somewhere around the draft or something, and then training camp, and then we'll go from there.
All right, y'all. Go Bills. We love them no matter what, unfortunately.
Yeah, go Bills. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. All right, y'all. Take care.
See ya.